Before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and just have a couple of announcements, and then Clay will introduce our guests for today. But what I wanted to let people know, first off, there's 2 competitions that are still open. You have until Tuesday to get your image in for Into the Wild, and that was a chance to do nature type stuff. I think that can include animals and plants and landscapes. The general idea, I think, that Bill thought was that it gave all of us bird people a chance to put a bird in and not have them make fun of us. But, so it's just anything nature-wise is what the current one is, and you have until Tuesday at midnight to get those pictures in. And then we have another competition. Yes?
I think it says the 23rd, which is on my calendar of Wednesday.
I think that's it. I think it's midnight.
Really?
It actually says the 23rd. I was curious when it opened for.
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe when this was made, there was a time change that went into effect from when I first made these back in January. Okay, you can. So it's a whole day longer?
No, 1 hour longer.
Okay, it might be 1 hour longer. So it's until. I think that probably, I created all of these in February when I took over this position, and then we had summertime come and it moved everything maybe. I don't know. But whatever the case, Tuesday night, if you want to stay up and past midnight and submit it, that's fine too. Whatever it says, we'll keep accepting it till that time. Typically, it would be Tuesday. We have another competition that's also open that will take place in December, and it is a fun competition that is not going to have critiques and everything. It's going to be just people's choice, but with one winner with a cash award. And that one is all about stuff that just makes you smile, things that are funny. A picture that you've taken in the last 2 years that would be kind of humorous. You can start submitting stuff to that. That's already open, and that's good through.
Did you open it up on years?
Huh?
Did you open it up on years?
We did not.
Okay.
There was a discussion through the board members whether or not we should make this so it was open all time, and we decided to keep it at 2 years, the same as all of our other competitions. We have one competition a year that is for stuff older than 2 years, but we always encourage people to keep taking pictures. And so in the end, we decided that we'd keep it at 2 years like all other competitions. So those are the 2 announcements about competitions coming up. Are there any questions? There's a show coming up that originally we were going to have the pictures hung tomorrow, but now it's Monday morning. So I just make sure everyone heard that.
What time Monday?
9 to 12, I think they were trying to do that.
Framed pictures or
Yes.
in the background somehow?
Framed pictures, or, well, they don't have to have glass. They don't have to be framed if you have them mounted some way. Some of them could be like metal prints. Some of them might be mounted on boards or whatever, or canvas prints or whatever, but they need to be ready to hang. Ready to hang.
What time?
Okay, so most of us did not hear about this change.
Okay. Was that in your latest email? Okay, so there was an email that just came out that has some detail about it. I don't know who all it went to. I'm not actually. Well, not with me. I've made an arrangement with you because I can't make it. Okay. In the email that went out recently from Clay, there's stuff talking about it. There may have been other emails before. I don't know what all went to everybody. It was not communicated well, so I'm letting you know now. So anyway, that was a change that was not brought on by us. That was brought on by the venue. They said they didn't have time, that they wouldn't be able to do it then, so they had to do it on Monday, and it was a recent notification. We haven't been hiding this just to try to trick you at the last minute. But I want you to know. Okay, so Clay, would you like to come up and introduce our speaker, and then we'll get started?
Can I ask a quick question
Yes.
about the little note cards for the
Yes.
as far as, do we need to print something out?
No. If you gave all that information already, just a second. If you gave that information, those are already printed out. The thing that you should bring is a one-page, it's like a bio. It might have some descriptions of what your pictures are and stuff like that. There's a notebook over on the table here, and you can look at what some of the people have already put in, and that will be available at the venue during our open house and stuff. That people can view all this information, but that's where you have your artist bio and things like that.
Well, we are delighted to have Laszlo Perlaky. He is Hungarian, and he was moved here recently to Bastrop. He was a resident with his wife, Lexi, and who's here also a photographer. And we're very happy that he accepted our invitation to speak today because he is a well-known photography teacher. He teaches many classes at the let me read down here. The Houston Photography Study Group and the Houston Center for Photography. He's also very active with the Lost Pines Art League in Bastrop. They both live in Bastrop now. And last year they gave us a presentation about their Alaska trip. And this is something new and exciting. He's always experimenting and doing great things with his photography, inspiration for all of us. So we're delighted, Laszlo, to have you with us this evening. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for having me and inviting me. So as a second U.S. exploration, 35 years ago we moved to Houston. Baylor College of Medicine invited me, and I worked at the Baylor College of Medicine as a faculty and the Texas Children's Cancer Center for 30 years. And after we retired, both of us, Lexi worked at the Derm Surgery Associates. And then our kids just said, Mom and Dad, why don't you come a little bit closer from Houston to Austin? So we selected Bastrop, and 5 years ago we moved to Bastrop. So the connections, the in-person connections with Houston, I lost because this is a 1.5, 2-hour drive and back and forth. So that is focused to Zoom meetings. So at this point, I was invited and suggested to let's do this Softies to Imagination program. And then I decided to make this, what is this? Just a view and then full screen. This screen is, at this point, don't look at it, but this screen contains the whole thing, basically, what we will experiment and experience today. So I used to use with a chalk and the board and whatever this, but finally I made a photograph from the after presentation, and then I sent it to the participants. So if you look at it and then start to think about why we cannot go close enough with a normal lens. So if you have a camera like this, and then pick up a lens, and then pick up a lens and put it in, and then we can see, well, this is 0.5 meter. So this is the distance. So that is not enough, right? So if you look at this, it's 50 millimeter lens, it's 5 centimeter, right? And then if you look at that picture here, which is the lens law, and then the 50 millimeter lens is here. Please come a little bit closer that way because I don't want to stand here. And then the 2 times the focal length is just 100 millimeter, but this distance. But I can be here. The reason is because we can get an upside down and small size image from a larger image through the lens, and then a real image on your screen or your whatever sensor or whatever film you use, different. Now, the big deal is we need to go closer because I want to get a magnified image. But this distance is too big. So the reason we start to modify these things, if we reverse, because the lens itself is reversible. So if we reverse the lens and put in reverse orientation into the camera, in that point, we will get a larger image and we can go closer. This is one thing. So this means reversing ring. Now the other thing, if we do an extra lens, you know, we have positive lenses and negative lenses. The negative lenses make the image smaller. So if you look through, everything is small. But if you have a positive lens, you can see magnification. That is your lens which you can use. So any lens in the whole world you can pick up which has magnification, that is a useful tool for your camera. So if you put this positive lens, this is positive, every lens positive, which is the edges are narrow. Every lens negative, which is the edges are larger than the center part. Now, if you put these things on the top, you will be able to see some tricky magnification. You modify the focal length. I don't want to go, what is this? The lens law says how the focal length will change, but you don't interested for the focal. You don't want to know what is the focal length. You wanted to know, can I get close? Can I get a larger image or not? That is the deal. If you
about screw-on filters?
that is a screw-on positive filters. Those are, I used to say diopters, because each has a kind of diopter, +4, +2, +1, whatever. The numbers are increasing. In that case, it's stronger and stronger the magnification. Now, the other thing is, if we put some extension tubes between the lens, so we can expand that area, so in that point, you will get a farther, you can get more distance between the lens and the camera sensor, and that you will be able to get mimicking this situation, right? Because the lens, this is your subject, this is your lens, it's a reverse like this. These are extension tubes. Extension tube extending, bingo, you will get a sharp image over there. So that is the 2 or 3 additional thing which I want to say, and then I will set up here, and then you will be able to see what I'm preaching that is true. Now, the other thing is, we have here a lot of things. So the first thing was, I said we need a kind of lens which we can put on the front, right? So that was the together to see and show everything is true. I have a compound lens from another junk camera, and then you can use this one too as a extra magnifying glass. The same token, you can use another lens as a magnifying glass. So these 2 situations I can show you. One is this one, a simple extra lens, what you suggested, that is like a filter. But this is a positive lens, so this is whatever, it's +4 or something like this, and then it's written on the side. Again, it's not super important, just you can see.
Aren't they called macro adapters, and they're stackable as well?
This thing is just, I put together some junkyard lenses.
What you have on your lens now?
Oh, this is a normal lens.
But you screwed on
It's a normal lens, yes. On the front, I put this magnifying glass. So this is a kind of diopter or close-up lens or whatever we can say. So this is good if you can screw it up. If you can't, that's fine. This one you can screw it up because I made it that mount for that. Or you can put this one. This is really cool because you can put this one in the center. It's sharp and shift it, and start to be fantastic distortions. And then this is the same thing, or the same thing this one, a magnifying glass. So if you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, pick up something with magnifying glass, oh, this is good. Or you go to the dollar store, oh, this is magnifying plastic, super. Again, you can play the whole thing, right? Now, the other thing, this little magnifying glass is plastic, few bucks, but you can put in the front, right? You can cover, you don't need to screw it, you can hold it. If you shift it a little bit, tilt it a little bit, you can play with that thing. So in that point, you can get these things together. So the concept is any lens which has a positive lens, which is a magnifying glass, you can get on the front of the lens, and then you will able to go closer. And that is your aim. Now, plastic lens is super. So we will have this plastic lens. Now, the other thing which I want to show, because somewhere we need to find a different kind of tubes and connectors. Here we go. So we have glasses, we have all of these things. Now, this one is called the reversing ring, and this is called the coupling ring. The coupling ring, which is this, is basically a lens mounted into the camera, put to the screw to the filter mount, and pick up another lens, like a normal lens, and then put in the front, because this is double screw, right? Two male to male. So in that point, you will get two lenses together like this situation. But this is not different anything like this. Because if you look at this lens, and then if you look through, is a strong magnification. That is the way magnifying glass, positive lens, bingo. If you don't have this kind of adapter ring, not a problem, you can hold it with your hand. So this is one thing which I want to show, and then you will be able to try all of these things. And then we will set up here very, very fast workstations, and then few subject matters over there, and then to here too. And then, so we will have something. Oh, I picked up this one from the dollar store. This is a 7 magnifying glass for those who need some light to see better. Magnifying, yes, magnifying. That's a good thing. Can we put it together? Yes, we can put together. Hold it, turn it on, and move it close, and then you will be able to see the image in your camera. These cameras are non-working cameras, but working perfectly to see through. So the viewfinder and then the whole setup is perfectly working. So you will see on the screen in the camera the sharp image. So this is, or you can buy a stronger macro adapter. So this is a Vivitar macro adapter plus 10. Plus 10 is 10 diopter. So in that point, it's very strong. So the general is plus 4 and plus plus 2 and plus 1. You can add together as 1 plus 2 is 3, and then the next is a 4, and then you can play with this. But of course, the quality is decreasing, and that is your imagination, because you need that decreasing quality. You don't want to get the sharp images. Everybody can do that. Everybody is on the whole world showing the sharp images. And then those are good in the scientific books, good for any other macro world, and then the Nikon Small World contest and all of the other world contests. But for the point of art, that is nothing. You will not able to produce a real fine art photograph with a sharp, super details image. You need the imagination, you need the dream, you need the metaphor. You need to translate those images to your vision, and then express your vision, this kind of nonsense. And that is the way which I suggest you to try. Because if the image, what you will see, will capture your imagination, you will go to the stores and then grab box and the whatever camera store and dirty and touched and even better. Or just pick up a little grease from your face and then put a little bit more on the lens. That is like this one. This is amazing result. I put some grease on it. The center part is empty, amorph, not circular, and then just the grease are there. Is amazing result. You will get softness on the side and then sharpness in the thing. The same token, when I went to the camera store, which is gone now in Houston, and then I found a real Nikon 105 macro. In the grab box, touched. How much is that? $10. You're kidding me. What is the reason it's $10? Because this was underwater during the flood, and then is gone. I want to buy that. I bought that lens, took apart immediately at home because I'm interested how it looks like a real macro lens inside. And I have found out only one lens element was just gone. But that lens element, I just fixed a little bit and shaped a little bit, removed a little bit more from the multi-coating with a very fine polyr, 1000 fine, whatever, sandpaper-like thing. And then after, oh my gosh, this is soft. And then that was good. And then other day, I found a broken, completely fall down and everything was in parts. Another same model on eBay, I bought it, took out that not damaged element. Now I have a good macro lens and a soft macro lens too. Now, this was the lens, whatever. We will figure out. Oh, this was the lens. This was the lens, which was $5. Of course, I built a little bit more. I put some electronic contacts here from another lens because some cameras wants to understand the communication between the aperture and all of these things. But the aperture is unimportant because it's fully open. Most of the time, I'm using everything fully open. So we will see here. I have another camera here, so we can put these things on it. Let's put an extension tube on it. These are extension tube too. These are very old extension tube. Look at this, screw-in type extension tube. M52, metric 52 millimeter diameter, 0.75 the thread elevation. That is my favorite. So these are long time discontinued macro extension tube from Nikon. But this is the treasure, the Nikon mount, because you cannot make that Nikon mount. You can make it easily with a latte or lathe or whatever is that, the machine, these screws. But you cannot make this one. So in that point is an end, and the other end has a male adapter and a female adapter. So you can put any lens here, right? That is a good thing. So I got a long extension tube, and then this can fit into the camera body. So this is a treasure. So if you see that one, you will not see too much in eBay because I bought it. But the other thing is the extension tube is this. This is a bellows. So the bellows extension tube is a variable extension tube, so you can change. You can change the length because you unscrew and put a shorter one and longer one, so you can do it. But all the time, you need to change. So this is a hocus pocus a little bit. This one is easier to change the bellows. Now this lens in it is a very, very old lens. This is from Heinz Kilfit München lens, and then this is a very good killer lens, but that was designed for bellows. So that is the reason I put it in bellows, because it's short, so you need extension tube. You can put this one here too. Will work? Yes, will work, because the function is the extension tube, right? So this one works, so we can put this one together, so you can see what does it mean, a extension tube variation. So you can play with this, just look it through, and then, sharp, nice. Now, you can go and make it shorter, and what does it mean? I need to go back a little bit. So that is the function of the extension tube. You can go closer if you expand, or if you get shorter, you can go farther. If the magnification is larger than you want, you can make a shorter extension tube, and that's it. So this is another thing. Now, if you really want, put a lens hood on it. Now, this is one thing. And then, you know what? Let's put these two together with my other lens. So now you got an idea, and most of you used the close-up diopters, the close-up lenses on the front. So most of you have that thing, right? And then you use that thing. Now, but probably you didn't use this way, so two lenses together, and then just go close and close and close, and sharp. So in that point, you can, if you don't see sharp, you need to go closer. And then the technique to focusing on the macro world is up and down moving. Now, the other technique is if your camera is on the tripod, and then you move your subject when it's sharp. But autofocus doesn't really work, because your vision is the important thing, and then you need to see what is the dream, and you need to see what, how can I say, what kind of point, where is the point when you want to make it sharp. So you can monkey around here and then move it. That doesn't work. The works is to go there and up and down, and the sharpness in the corner, and then click. The same thing, move it to the object and click. So that is. So this is another one. So this is extension tube. That is close-up diopter. We can take it out. Now, we have a few more cameras here. So I can pick it up, another thing. Now, the deal is, which you can see, if we have this macro lens, it doesn't matter is macro or whatever is that, it's not really easy to move. This is the closest point. The macro lenses, which is a real macro, the real macro inside lens element are moving. So that's the reason it's a high price tag, because the mechanics is a little bit different. And then some of them has some kind of extra low dispersion elements or something like that. And then the whole thing is corrected for the close-up range. But those are good lenses now for infinity too. But at this point, I would suggest just think about old gizmos because this is $5, $10, whatever range. So that is not a big thing. But the big thing is 52. So we can put some. Do you want to put this gizmo on it? Let's see what's happening. So this one. This is funny. This is too much for this. So, but working. But let's put something else. A little bit smaller, and then, yeah, this can work. So this is a good, you can go close, but this is too strong. So you have two different settings of close-up lens on it, different focal lengths. Now the function is the different focal lengths, you need to go farther. So when you have a 50 millimeter lens, you can go this close. If you've got the same magnification with 100, same magnification. So in that means, what does it mean? A matchbox. The matchbox is a 24 by 36 millimeter size. So in that case, full frame camera, 35 millimeter film camera, that is full frame if the image is same size as your subject. So in that point, that was 2 times focal length. Do you remember? That is the 1-to-1 magnification. And then if you go to the focal length, do you know what's happening? Nothing, no image, because the lines are parallel. So you cannot go to the 50 millimeter. But with these kind of things, you can go because the focal length is not the focal length anymore as the original focal length. Because the two lenses added together, and then there is a lens law. How can we calculate that one? So if you're really interested, we can talk about it, but it doesn't matter. The important thing is, how can you know the magnification? Get a ruler, get something which, get this Nikon sign or something like this, and then just go there, photograph it. Okay, now I have that one. We go there, and then with the other lens, try to mimic the same size, edge to edge, and that's it. Or if you want to get a ruler, photograph the ruler, and immediately you know what is the image size, photograph the ruler. Because you can put in a computer, and then immediately you can calculate the magnification. So we did this in zillion times with the microscopes in my lab. We put that thing, a very special ruler, under the microscope, and then that was very fine in thousands of millimeters. And then we photographed that thing, and then we got that image, and then immediately the publisher was satisfied because we were able to put the size of the image. Anyway, this is the two things, and then the third thing is the bellows. And then now we have here, this is a 200 millimeter. Oh, I wanted to say, the reason 50 millimeter, 100 millimeter, 200 millimeter, you see the focal length is doubling, doubling, doubling. So that means if you have a sharp image, 50 millimeter lens here, same magnification, 100 millimeter lens, double the distance. If you have a 100 millimeter lens, 200 millimeter, same magnification, double the distance. So in that point, you will be able to photograph from a distance, not that really close. Think about it. I have a bee or something like this on the whatever plant, and then the flower, and then you want to go close. You cannot get close because the bee will fly away, or a butterfly will fly away. So that is a function of the longer focal length, 105 or 200 millimeter. That is really good. This is a very old 200 millimeter real macro. So the magnification of this half a life size. They have a 2x extender for that to generate a life size magnification. But for this, the life size magnification is a extension tube. So we have an extension tube there. I didn't show you that. thing, we have extension tubes. These extension tubes are fancy, bayonet mount, new, no electronic contact. This is not that world, because when Nikon changed, Nikon said, we will never ever change the mount. That is true, but they modified a little bit the mount, but never really changed. Now that was the problem with the extension tubes, and that was the reason they discontinued the extension tube, because no room for the electronic contacts. When Canon changed from the FD system to the EOS system, they changed the mount. That was a big deal. Change the mount. Oh, bad, Canon bad. Change the mount. They had extension tube. Well, not a big deal. Novoflex made an extension tube adapter, put it here, electronic contacts here, a wire here, and then put the other side, and everything is working. So it's not a big deal. And then, anyway, we don't need extension electronic contacts because we don't use autofocus. So that is, autofocus aid maybe we can use when the little light shows up on your viewfinder is sharp. So, but don't use autofocus. When you move up and down, and then, but in that point, again, the light will show up only if the focusing circle on that place. But if you want to focus to the corner, and then that will not show if you're unable to move that gizmo here and there. So anyway, this one was the extension tube for this lens. And then let's open it and then put these things here. Oops. And then this one is an advantage because you can make it 90-degree vertical, horizontal. So this is a good one. And then stable, the camera is here, not the camera on the tripod and poking and breaking down the whole thing. So we can put this one on another camera so you can see what is the life size with this gizmo and how far you need to go, of course. So this is the distance. It's sharp. So you will play with that. So it's 2 extension tube. It's over there. And then this is 2 magnification. Now what is, yes. This is, I want to show with the, do you know what? I will show you this. This one, this is a zoom lens. Of course, this zoom lens was broken too, as always. And then it's working because you can see through. So the zoom is working. Everything is working. Ooh, it's not sharp, so you need to go far. So you need to go do something. And then the good news is, if you put anything like this, or if you put a missing, here, close-up diopter on it, of course, if it doesn't fit, because it's 62, and then these are 52, everything in my system 52, get a step-down ring. Or if you have 49, get a step-up ring. So you can get dirt cheap, these kind of things. But you can get this one in it, right? So at that point, you can get a zooming. Now that is the advantage and the important thing. If you have a zoom, the zoom lens will work on the extension tube. Every single focal length has different. So what is, if you have a zoom lens and just extension tube, get a little duct tape, put it here, immediately will lock the whole system, and then you can get as a single focal length, like 135, 105, whatever, 210. But the zooming, if you want to get the zoom advantage, in that case, you cannot use the extension tube because all the time you need to change your position. So if you want to put in a tripod, that is just crazy because the distance is changing as the focal length is changing. Do you remember? 50 millimeter was this close, 100 millimeter this close, and then 200 millimeter this close. Now this room's 70 to 200. So in that case, it's almost the same. So this is a good thing to have that one together. Now, here we have another one, which I want to show you. This is another lens from eBay. This is a 0.9, the f-stop. So this is really, this is a Rodenstock XR Heligon. This Heligon lens was designed for X-ray films, photographing very low density and dark image, and then that was in a machine. So that was, everything is fixed. So that was a life-size magnification from the XA 11 by 14 size, and then that was there fixed, and then just click, click, click. So that was the duplication of the original X-ray films. So, but that is now, everything is digital, so it's out the whole thing. Even the X-rays is going to the computer directly, but they sold, so I bought it when I found it. And then immediately I transformed this part to make sure I'm able to put into the camera. So that can fit into the camera. So we can put this one into the camera, and then you can see, oh, magnification. So that is a good thing. So I want to show you this, how it looks like. No f-stop. But the bokeh, that is fantastic. So in that point, I want to show you this one too. Now, after that, when everybody watched this, all of these gizmos, I will show you a very, very tricky situation, which is a very unusual situation. I will put back this one. Just I want to show you this. So, we didn't talk about, but now we will talk, the extenders. Now, if you have an extender, that's a good thing. But if you have an extender, and then put the extender together, this is a 105, this is a 2x extender. When you put together the 2x extender and a 105, what will happen? Piece of cake, 200 millimeter lens, right? 210. So that is something more happened, because this is a f4 lens, and the 2x extender eats 2 stops. So 5.6 and f8. So this is an f8 200 millimeter lens. So you can use this one the same as this one, right? Well, this is f4, and this is f8. So that is different. But that is nothing to do for me. That is not good, because the 105, I can get the same magnification from here, 200 from here. So what is the advantage? I need to do something else. Put this one. I didn't see. Maybe on YouTube you can see, but I never seen, and I'm not watching those things. So in that point, put the extension tube between the 2x and then this, the whole system screwed up, and then you will get amazing result.
What's the difference between an extender and an extension tube?
The extension tube is a tube. It's nothing. You see, this is a tube, nothing in it. The extender has lens in it. So that is And then the extender itself doesn't work alone. The extender function is extend or doubler or whatever we can call. If it's a 2x extender, sometimes you can hear it doubler because doubling the focal length of the prime lens.
Extend is the same as a teleconverter?
Huh?
Is it the same as a teleconverter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the teleconverter can be 1.4x, 1.7x, 2x, 3x, this kind of thing. So, yeah, it's different nomenclature. But this one is a amazing situation. You can put more. You can put more. Why not? But in that point, you will. Oops. You have to be careful with this. This is extender, extension tube, and this. Now, in this situation, is really, really funny. If you, maybe you don't agree, maybe agree, but the experiment, based on an easy experiment, you can see if you put the extender and the lens in it, in that point you will get a double of the focal length of the prime lens. If you put the extender and the extension tube and then the lens, so let's reform. We have a lens with extension tubes. Itself has a magnification, an increased magnification, because we agreed, and then we saw the extender, the extension tube help you to get the magnification larger. This extender or converter converts the magnification 2 times. So this system is 2 times the magnification of this one alone. So that is the really cool thing. You don't need to calculate. You need to just go close and see. So this is all close, so we can get, and oh, I'm running out of the cameras. So, but we will see, if you will finish one, you will, and then, you know what? Let's see this one to the end, and then let's put this one in it. So in that case, you will be able to see this kind of special. Now let's have 2 workstations here. So this one is one workstation, and then we'll use these things, and then we will have another workstation here, and then we need some lights, and then these are cool lights. I like this one. This is a literal light. Before the literal light, I want to show you something. But this is just to show. You guys probably know I'm not shooting 35 millimeter. I'm shooting 4x5 or 8x10. And this is my lens board of my 4x5. Even I transformed my 8x10 lens board to Linhof compatible 4x5. Now, I fabricated a mount, a Nikon mount, into a Copal 1 shutter. Because the large format cameras need shutter, right? So this has a shutter, even has aperture, but this has shutter. So that is working. Well, working something else too, if you really want. So this works. But I put this one. And then I can put this one into here. Can I? Yes. Can I mount this one to my 4x5, 8x10? Yes. Does it have enough bellows? Yes. I have bellows. If not enough bellows, I can put some extension tube here and the bellows. So just I want to show no limitation. Your camera doesn't matter is Nikon or Canon or a Hasselblad or whatever size, 4x5 or a 6x6 centimeter camera. Any camera, you can get an adapter, put it to a Nikon, or if you fabricate a mount, and then that's it. This is specific because we always use Nikon. So that was the reason I stuck with the Nikon. So we had a lot of Nikon gear, a lot of boxes filled with Nikon gear, filled with camera show stuff, and then we can pick up whatever I want to fabricate. So that's the reason I fabricated these things. So you can use this one. Now, I just wanted to show is unlimited, but just you need to create something to make sure you. I put this one back because I'm using a lot. So this one, before we get the demo, this is a small point-and-shoot camera. This is a small point-and-shoot camera. So this is a small Sony RX100 camera. This is an old one. It's number 3. Now it's 5 or 6, but doesn't matter. So this is fine. So I can turn it on, and then hopefully it will work. And then it's on. And then I want to get this kind of things on it, right? So I can hold it. Yeah, it's working. You can see on the live view, it's working. But I fabricated something special for that because there's no filter mount on it. So if you want to use it permanently on it, as you said, yeah, let's screw it in, we need a mount to that, but doesn't have. So I fabricated a push-on type filter mount and adapted to a screw mount. So in that point, you can screw anything which is 52 millimeter on it. So you can use this one with this softy, whatever, and then just check it when it's clicking, it's focusing. So that works. And then I have 2 pocket macro for that. One macro is this. This one was on eBay. This is a Laszlo macro tar. It's super sharp. It's very nice. So I had to adapt the ring because it doesn't fit, but I made this ring. So everything is fit. And then you can put this one on it. And then you can go close. Oh! So this is on it. Now this one is another one fabricated. This one from the trash. I picked up a old stereo microscope. People trash it what is doesn't need. And then of course that was broken, the whole thing. But I looked for parts which has magnification. Oh, this was in a condenser lens element. I picked that one up and then I put it in a mount, put this one together, and you can screw it in, and then you will get a fantastic soft image for this. So this is my soft, and this is my sharp on this lens. So we can try this one. So, but I take this one out because when it's running out from the whatever time, we're close. And then if it's closed, it kicks this one off. So, but we can test this one too. Oh, one more thing. We have another super phone. This is the cell phone, right? The cell phone, you can take images. And then this one, for the clippable thing, so you can put these things on it and clips on it. So you got a 52 millimeter mount. Bingo, anything, whatever you saw here, I can put it here. I can use the cell phone. Well, not all the time, but most of the time. But this is another option. Just I wanted to show you. So this is, I lost this thing, so this one is back here. And then if you want to try on your cell phone, you're more than welcome to do. Now, my bag is empty, so that is a good thing to try. Oh, it's not empty because we have the Lycra light. I use the Lycra light. I put this one into this little micro ball because I can use the position, and then I use this microlight, light for in macro situation with my large format. That is very complicated to see through because the light is very low. But if you put this one on it, 1, 2, 3, ooh, is very, very strong. So we can use this. This is a flashing some safe light. But this one is a real gem if you have the literal light, because the color temperature is exactly known, is 5,600 Kelvin. So that is a good thing to play with this. And then you can, I have for the 2 workstation, so one we can put it here. Oh, one more thing. If you pick up something and if you put it in a backlit situation, you see start to glow. That's my favorite. So when it's glowing. So we have a light, and then we can put here some kind of settings. Immediately you can pick up the camera and go close, 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 eye sharp. So that is the way, okay? So please form 2 lines, because we can make it here, and then the 2 lines we have here, we have another literal light. So pick up one, and then I will put this one here. So we have some kind of halfway backlit or something crazy situation, and pick up this one or whatever. You can see live demo is finished. We need to pack this junkyard, and then just remember, if you have a normal lens or a lens, a fixed focal length will determine the minimum focus. It's not necessarily macro. If you put extension tubes, you will able to go close, number 1, because you change the situation. If you put close-up diopters or any close-up lens on it, you will change the focal length, you will able to change the whole system, and then you will able to go close. The same token, because this lens has magnification, if you reverse the lens, you will able to use it because the situation is similar as number 2. Now, number 3 was when you put a lens and then put this reversing ring, and then any other lens will not work. So that means this lens needs to be equal or longer focal length than this lens. So the other thing which we experimented that, use a 2x extender, use an extension tube, and use this one. So it's basically this situation moved to the 2x extender, and then the extender magnifies that magnification what you were able to reach here. So these are different kind of the 3T and 5T. This is just diameter differences, and the 4T is 52 millimeter, for 5T 60, these are 62 millimeter. Nikon discontinued these things because they built in the life-size magnet. But these were super sharp close-up diopter, similar to the Canon. Canon had very sharp diopters, probably those are discontinued slowly too. So this is the thing. Now I would like to show you a few samples. And then I want to get out from here, and then we are here. And then these are few images from Lexi, my wife, and then she used the 70-200 lens with a Nikon, and then a Canon close-up diopter on it. So that was the situation. These are close-ups by her. She likes these sharp images, but she likes the flow of the background. So in that case, you need to move the background or the object a little bit farther from your background because the depth of field is minimum. And then the other trick is use the full opening. So this is f2.8. So that is another deal. All of them f2.8. So this was just from the flow. Then we got a freeze, and then she really enjoyed the afternoon light, and then she photographed. Of course, backlit. For me, only the backlit and side lit is the right light. Front lit is flat, boring. Side lit, front lit, boring. Only the side lit completely or side backlit, that can get a glow and then a beautiful hollow around the subject. Or backlit can be a beautiful glow. So that is the other things. So this kind of things you can see, you can photograph with a simple setup. Now this one, she photographed these lenses. We like the leaf cutting X very much. So, and these are all single shots. None of them multiple shots, none of them selected. That is, if something is unsharp, it goes to the trash. You try again, because you need to make that image. So that is my opinion about the photography. So in that point, you can get sharp images. Before, when we got these fancy cameras, we did beautiful images. We did beautiful images in the 1920s. We did beautiful images in the 50s. I did beautiful images in the 80s. I won 2 times the Wildlife Photographer of the Year in London. Manual cameras, manual focus, single image, without motor drive, without this. We counted how the wings move, and then we knew that how and when do we need to click the shutter. Now it's different. Point the camera to 20 image and select one. This is not my style. My style is different, but that is a style and then can be a winner from this. I disagree, but nowadays that is the style. So time is changing the photography, but I'm an old-fashioned guy, and I'm still using film and super happy with my film. Okay, so leaf cutting guys. She lay down hours and hours and photographed these guys. And moving, carrying the leaves, and then these kind of things happening. Flash is another option, but sometimes the flash makes a tricky light. So we made backlit double flash and then very soft boxes and all of the, but too complicated. I made for her, she was happy, that's nice, beautiful, the test pad, beautiful image. But that was too complicated for her. That was too much gizmos, so she doesn't want to use. So that is the truth. So anyway, this kind of things. So that was a leaf cutting ants. Now, we have, Lexi did some lichens. We photographed lichens for several weeks. When we found the lichens at Bastrop State Park, we went again every day. We went back with photographing the lichens. And then we were just super happy. The light was changed. We saw differently every day. Because our feelings about the subject matter, was different every day. So that was the reason we tried to go multiple times. She photographed that one. She liked this kind of images like that. Again, it's very soft, and then you use this kind of softy type elements, but some of them sharp. Very narrow depth of field. So that was, everything is 2.8 or whatever. That is especially. So this is closer to my feelings. The other ones are sometimes too sharp. But this looks like an underwater world. So it's a different world, the lichens. So this was lichens. Now, I want to show, she has another thing called lens baby. Do you remember, we talked about these things. Then you have this lens, and then this one is a curve, so move like this one. That is a good thing. Lens baby has like a vacuum cleaner tube, and then just you can move it back and forth and whatever. So now she loves that lens baby, so she's tried to photograph with the lens baby. This is the lens baby what she used. Lens baby can fit anything. We definitely made it 52, so made the whole thing as a palette, so she can pick up whatever she wants, and then she add to this lens baby vision with the close-up diopters. Or you can move a little bit the camera, and then you can make a shorter, and then, or more spherical, because you can twist, you can play with that thing. But each single image. This is lens baby. Lens baby can make very cool stuff. Can make it very weird things too, which you don't like it. But sometimes, some of them, you like it. So that was basically lens baby. Now, I did some large format lichens. So this was black and white. This is on film, negative, 4x5, and made the prints and scanned the whole thing. So again, we tried, but you see the problem sometimes, the softness of the background is missing. So that is the bad thing. So that's the reason I want to use this lens on this, because the bokeh, this lens, like a Tessar type lens, those are no bokeh. So you need to test your lens. A sonar type lens has fantastic bokeh. A planar type lens has fantastic bokeh. As a Tessar or this kind of doublets, there's a very sharp, or a macro Nikkor or something like that, super sharp, or any Zeiss or Leitz Nikon or Leitz macro, very, very sharp, because designed for the sharpness. But for me, no, I don't want to see this kind of disturbing thing. This is not good bokeh. This is a little bit better bokeh. But still, I'm in trouble, and this is a little bit better. But still, not exactly what I really go for it. This is a little bit better. So anyway, this is few image from that. Now, few image, very few, I will show from the Nikon World Contest, the small world. They're using microscopes or using stocked images or that kind of thing, focusing and then a series of images and stuck it together with the program, and you will get an increased depth of field. So this kind of things. So you can make some kind of microscopic, scientific, valuable images, something art, or a bug claw, or something, or these kind of things. So autofluorescence of this kind of defensive hairs covering, or this one, or this kind of things. So you can see good images which can be in art festivals or art shows. Some of them not. Some of them just go to the book. That is fine. Scientific book. This one can be on the wall, for example. So this is this is add a value, because they're kissing each other. They're talking about. So you don't need to think about what is this. You can imagine what is really happening. Or this one. Or this one. Even this one. So this one from the Nikon World 2024. Now, I want to go, but this is only macro world, but I want to go ask from this one out from here. So thank you for watching. And then if you have any question, we have few minutes.
If anyone has any questions, I can pass around a microphone so that anyone watching remotely can hear what you. I'm very surprised. No. Okay.
Yeah, I have a darkroom at home. I made a darkroom, and I can develop the film.
I'm not familiar. I see only, I understand that there's many labs are closed.
No. I'm not using any lab. I'm using myself. I have a darkroom. Yeah.
I used to do this years ago.
Yeah, but I have my own darkroom with large format film set up. We have a bed darkroom and then a dry darkroom, and then so for the films, and then everything is perfect. So I got permission to my wife to transfer one bathroom for a complete darkroom. So I did that one, and then one of the walk-in closet is my dry darkroom with an enlarger. Everything is in drums, and put that one, transfer to the wet darkroom and develop there, and everything is piece of cake. Just you need to know what you're doing. And then I have 20 plus darkroom years in the past, and of course after digital came, but this digital world developed too much for me, and then changing every year the cameras, and then the higher and higher megapixel war is not my style. So I'm very happy to be in contact with my subject matter during the 20-minute setting when I'm meditating and talking to the image, and when the image said, "I'm ready, are you ready?" and then click the shutter. So that was the ready. And then I developed the film, and everything is keeper, because the trash level is very low, because a well-taught imagination transfer. So that kind of inner vibration, transferring my feelings through my images to the viewer on different exhibitions. And then at this point, in October 5th, we installed to the Lost Pines Art Center's art wall in the Bastrop Library. So I have my own wings images there. Those are black color images, this size color prints. I do everything myself. The printing, the matting, the framing, I don't let anybody to touch. And then even the hanging was ourselves. And then that will be till end of November on the wall, and November 2nd at the Art Center during the Art After Dark program, I will make my artist talk there. But in the artist statement and the bio is on the wall, so anytime if you go there, you can see the images. Those are really unusual, imaginative birds in flight images. The website is starting to be back. Before we left in July, any stupid mistake happened and broke down the whole thing. But now I start to revitalize and then correct. So that is the galleries are 32 is back now, so you can see naturalpearlart.com is the website. So if you look at, I need to log in again. November 2nd, that is Saturday. The Art After Dark is 6 to 8, I believe, so something like that. I have no idea what time, maybe 7 will be. And then, so just, always not connected to the net. Okay, that's fine. So anyway, so the website is naturalpearlart.com. Natural Perl, not natural, P-E-R-L, as part of my name, naturalpearlart.com. That is the website. Yeah. Yeah, that is, so maybe that is in inviting the website, but send that again. So that's going on. Previously we had Lexi's images were there, but that is not on. We published 5 books, and then one book is the Softest to Imagination book. If you Google it in Amazon.com, you can see the books. And then that's it. So if you have any questions.
Any other questions? Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming today and for letting us do all this hands-on stuff. There's so many things that you showed today that I knew about, but I didn't have the stuff to try, and so.
Yes, that is the reason I did this one. We did this one HCP through Zoom. You can imagine how complicated that thing, but this nonsense was with a camera, and then in that time the camera was connected to a digital camera live view, so I was able to show the image to the viewers, but that is a different thing. So I wanted to make sure you will able to see it, because it's 10 times better than the Zoom.
Okay, thanks. Are there any other questions about anything else or any other business that we need to cover for today? Okay, so the main thing is get your images in by Tuesday or Wednesday very early in the morning or whatever it is. But basically next Tuesday, I'll send out an email on Monday reminding everyone for that in the wild competition. And then we have the other competition that's already open, which should be the more fun, humorous, or things that just make you happy when you look at it, and that is going to be a People's Choice Award.
And then tell us again about the gallery.
The gallery is going to be, all the pictures are hung. They want them to be brought in at 9 o'clock Monday morning. And that information about that and the location and everything is in the email that went out tonight, if you didn't get some communication before, which I saw different communications, but I don't know who they went to. Whatever the case, it's not tomorrow, so now you have tomorrow afternoon that you can stay home and do whatever, and figure out how to get there on Monday.
Artist statements, if you want yours to go in the binder, and realistically, that's not going to be relevant until we have our opening on November 9th. But if you can print it and bring it Monday, that's a good thing.
And if you'd like to see, so what there is, there's going to be a binder there, and with different artist statement. You make it yourself, you print it yourself, you make it however you want. This happens to be mine on the front. I made it one way, and it's, you know, it could be quite different than the way someone else does it. This is where you just be creative in what you want to do. It's not really mandatory, but it's kind of nice.
If someone, oh, I love that one, then they'll go to the binder and say, okay, there's their website, that's what they have to say about their work. So,
Or they don't have, I don't have a website or anything, but I could just say, I'm from here in Austin, I like this kind of photography, and all these pictures came from the Bavarian part of Germany when I was there. So whatever you want to say, you can,
however you want to do it.
yeah. But here's some examples that were done.
like it, and they want to know more about you and what you do. Just write something up and another.
So basically, the meeting's over. We can keep talking about all of this stuff.
I didn't